Now to Johannesburg, South Africa, where leaders of the BRICS economic bloc, which consists of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, will hold 3 days of meetings. The main summit is slated for tomorrow, and sideline meetings are planned both today and Thursday. Analysts say that both Russia and China are looking to gain some ground, both politically and economically, in the developing world at that summit. And notably, Russian President Vladimir Putin will not be there in person. He will appear via video link as there's an international criminal court arrest warrant against him over the war in Ukraine. And speaking of Russia and China, new trade data shows deepening economic ties between the countries. In the first 7 months of 2023, Beijing's total trade with Moscow jumped 36% from the same period a year earlier to $134 billion. Now, this relationship is helping Moscow, which has been hit hard by sanctions, fund its war against Ukraine. China is also benefiting from the partnership as its economy is struggling due to a decline in Western demand for many of its products, along with other issues as well. So joining us now to talk more about it is Mark Kennedy. He is the director of the Wilson Center's Wahba Institute for Strategic Competition and a former Republican congressman representing the state of Minnesota. Thank you so much for being here, Mark.
Good to be with you, Kelly.
Well, it's great to have you. So a big question here, China's economy. Why is it in trouble? What has gone wrong?
Well, they have really been fueling their economy with a debt-driven property building, and they've overbuilt, and now that debt overhang is weighing on the economy. They've also had a demographic dividend that they've benefited from in recent years as their economy has grown that is reversing, as they are now having less and less working-age populations every year. And they have the U.S. and others, whether you call it de-risking or decoupling, being much more careful about their supply chains in China. All of this is weighing on the consumers that are having to, with just one child policy for many years, have one worker supporting 2 parents, 4 grandparents. All of these are weighing on the economy, which is really struggling at the current moment.
Absolutely. So how does this impact consumers here in the U.S.?
Well, I think, first of all, you've seen prices at the factory gate in China falling. So that may mean a good shopping for Christmas. But what that also means is that there's downward pressure on the yuan, their currency, as they're lowering rates to try to stimulate the economy. At the same time, the U.S. is increasing rates to try to tame inflation. Their currency is getting more competitive, meaning it's going to be much harder for Americans to compete with them in the export markets. And finally, with the China economy slumping, the International Monetary Fund said that it was planning on them fueling 35% of global growth. So with global growth slowing down, that may make it harder for the U.S. to avoid recession.
Got it. So we've been keeping a close eye on this symbiotic relationship between Beijing and Moscow. Can you describe how that is a benefit to both nations?
Well, you've got both of them that, in the case of Russia, has sanctions on them, making it harder for them to sell their products or to source their products. And China, with de-risking and having people move supply chains, diversifying out of China, both of them benefit from being able to sell to each other, source from each other. China has been getting a lot of cheap energy from Russia, and Russia's been able to redirect energy that they couldn't sell to Europe into China. That's a benefit to them. Russia being cut off from technology in the West is gaining that access in China, which is creating an export market for China. So this has been a great symbiotic economic boon to both countries as they've moved closer together in response to the West moving further away from each of them.
So in light of that globally, what is your biggest concern moving forward?
Well, my biggest concern is what does this all mean? What does a China that is finding its economy hobbled mean? Does it become more repressive at home and more aggressive abroad? Those are the things that we ought to be most concerned about.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.